days of Enter the Arena, which they won, casted by yours truly, Findable Carpet, back in the day. And yeah, so they have been good for a really long time, and adding Varos to that mix, I would have thought they'd be successful, but they've had a hard time finding their stride, maybe a little bit of a lack of synergy there, but they're all incredibly skilled as players. I can't help but feel like they should be doing better.
They're a team that I wouldn't be surprised to see from, like, they just have a point where all of a sudden they click, and they become one of the best in Europe because they have the raw skill, they have the potential. But as you said, synergy becomes such a big part of this game. And you'll realize that as you watch the teams that thrive are the ones that are making sure that every single ability gets a maximum potential. And that is very tough when you have 9 abilities to cast. The fact that every M1 gets max potential, every heal gets max potential, every shield, every bit of CC, you're waiting until the very last second until you pull off the next one. You're not stacking any bit of it. And those are the teams that usually thrive. And yes, that does also depend on individual skill, but it doesn't particularly mean that those people would win 1v1 matchups as far as just like raw maximum individual skill.
Right.
So, I mean, it's crazy where the meta has slowly shifted, as opposed to just like, I can just be better than you. Now it's like, our whole team has to be able to kick your ass, and it's not always going to be that case.
Yeah, and for a long time, that was the case with Varosk. He was just better than you.
Yeah.
You lost to Varosk because he was better than you. But he hasn't – there was a long time which he didn't play, maybe like 3 to 4 months where he just didn't play, and I think a lot of the players actually caught up to him a little bit in terms of skill. So it's something he can't quite rely on anymore.
So remember, this is going to be a best of 5 maps. Again, win score 5 within the same we've seen all day today. Same we'll see for the rest of the day. This is our 3rd of 4 matches, so we have a lot more left. We're just past the halfway mark. So, you know, grab some snacks, get a drink. Don't care what it is, water or anything.
Order a pizza.
Order a pizza. Maybe. You're a pizza guy, I've realized.
I really like pizza.
You're a big pizza guy.
I just like pizza.
You can't,
man.
I mean, cheese is good. All right, we're halfway through this draft. We haven't even talked about it. We have Shifu, and looks like Varosk on, or actually that's not Varosk. We're going to see Varosk on Iva.
Yeah.
We're going to see Jade on their opponent's side with, and then Iva Rook together with Functional Sociopaths. Looking similar to what we saw. There's going to be a Lucy and a Xander. It's the last pick for Pulse Strong.
Randler Lucy.
Randler Lucy.
I like seeing that. Randler is incredibly good at this character. Also, I have a Varosk staple as of late. Looking really good. I like it against this Jade Shifu as well. I think Jade has a pretty even matchup, slightly unfavorable into Iva.
Yeah.
That cleanse on Taser is just so good into Jade. If you like happen to catch her right after she EXQs or anything like that, you'll just ruin the Jade from that point on. It's pretty good against the Xander too. Of course, the Zap Shield, very good against Arcane Catalyst, so you don't ever find yourself taking those huge bursts of damage. In general, I just really like this Iva pick. Also, the Iva Lucy has a lot of synergy. It's the old Joltz Clerney comp. Joltz Clerney dominated the scene with this Iva Lucy Esmo for a really, really long time.
Yep.
Intolerant back in the day. And it's very good. All of the cleanses, very defensive. Just in general, strong comp.
So I didn't get to see the predictions. Actually, I forgot to do my predictions this week. Can you believe that? I'm not going to get any points this week because I forgot. How dare I?
I didn't do mine either.
I literally know about this every weekend because I have to be here.
Yeah, you are.
And I still forgot.
You're contractually obligated to be here, and you forgot.
I get an email saying, don't forget to be here at a certain time for your job, and I still forgot to do my predictions. My God, I'm an idiot. I'm thinking in the matchup alone, it's looking definitely in favor of Functional Sociopaths, but when you're looking at a Xander, you never know. I don't mean to call and be punny and call him a wild card, but I think a really good Xander.
My boy.
I'm going to kill myself. I don't want to know that I'm doing this.
Yeah, I didn't know you had that ace up your sleeve.
Dang. Xander, though, I feel like a really, really, really good Xander. It's just hard to know how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
Because his abilities are just not nearly as obvious to know how they're going to go. I mean, once you put a portal down now, so many options can come out of that, whether you want to be aggressive or defensive. His EXM2, his cleanse can be very strong. Now with the reset and his new Battlerite, if you do not know, he got a new Battlerite, where if somebody goes through his portal, not just himself, he'll reset the M2. It used to be just him when he goes through his own portal, but that's kind of dumb because now you have to put yourself through a portal, which means if no one's under pressure, you're not going to get the reset.
Yep.
But now, it's really strong.
It is very good. His M2 is inarguably his most important ability. Of course, Portal, very, very key as it helps allies get out of bad situations. But his M2 is what all of his damage and all of his healing is tied to. He has some healing with the help of his space and his M1, but what really helps him heal up is that Spotlight. That burst 24 healing with the cleanse is just so key to how Xander plays, and the fact that you now have a cooldown reset on the ability it's tied to, it just really makes the character a lot better.
Backline Shifu against the Lucy. I think with the Iva and kind of helping out the Lucy, Shifu's not going to have as easy of a time as usual.
Yeah.
generally he's not. He's almost as happy going to a Lucy as a Bako is. Because he has so many answers for that panic.
Yep.
But what I think a lot of people forget is that when Shifu goes in material, everyone's like, wow, this guy just gets to run around in material and deal damage. He really doesn't deal a lot of damage when he's in material.
Nah.
He really wants to do his EX in material.
Now he just heals for 40.
Yeah, then that's when you're like, okay, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Now he can heal without anyone having to do anything about it. But overall, he actually does like half damage when he's in material, pretty much. I think it's 40% reduction.
Yeah, he does 5 damage per M1. I think he normally does 10.
And I think at most he'll do 4 M1s while he's in material.
Yeah.
So that means he'll do 20 damage to you if he hits all 4. And most people aren't going to stand there for all 4. But 20 damage for a whole ability, one of his best escapes. Not a great trade.
The big one is that it gives you M1 stacks, right?
Yes.
Is that you immediately hit that 32 damage 4-stack M2 right after.
Yeah.
So like that damage does come. It's just a little bit backloaded.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where you're always just don't try and escape his immaterial unless he's used his EX version. You don't want him to heal. Just let him M1 you to death. Hopefully he doesn't R you while he's in there, in which case then you're kind of screwed. He's still going to smack you with that M2.
Yeah.
Not to say Shifu's not a great champion who has some really good combo potential, but I just think in general, especially if you're not as experienced in the game, immaterial feels way more suffocating than it really is.
Yeah, but against functional sociopaths, immaterial isn't quite as problematic as it generally is, as they have the one answer in the game to it. They have that clarity pot. Clarity potion removes immaterial and deals 10 damage if you take potency, which is very good against Shifu. So we might see the Lucy holding that ability to try to keep the Shifu off of her, which would be very nice for her.
And it's also going to deal with the sheep. If you,
Yeah.
Even if you get the increased radius on the new Xander Battlerite for the sheep, he'll still try and clear it away. And just so you guys know, we're not staying on our faces because we want you to listen to us more. We're dealing with a couple complications at the back end with the players, and once that match gets started, we will be underway. I know you love hearing us talk, but
they're all just staring at your beard.
Yeah, probably.
You know it.
You're
used to it by now.
I mean, just to talk about it a little bit. So, I mean, I've been growing this for a long time. I've had it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And when I first started casting, it was maybe a fourth of this length. And people were still like, my God, oh, that guy's got a beard. That's crazy. And I was blown away by how much people are super shocked at the fact that I just don't shave. Like, it's super funny to me that it's become like a staple of my look. And then all people are like, oh, it's that guy with that awesome beard. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you so much. But I was like, this is weird.
How mad would you be if I just took some scissors to it right now?
I wouldn't be that mad.
No?
I'd be mad because you took scissors to me.
What if I just, like, took a chunk out of it randomly?
I mean, I just shorten it. I mean, I'd be frustrated because you're just being kind of dick. But I really...
True.
I mean, whatever. It's just a face hair. It'll grow back. But I was, like, super blown away by how crazy... was just my interactions with everybody always involved my beard. It's almost like I almost want to shave it off just to like, all right.
Do you ever have to be like, I'm up here when people are just staring at your beard?
Sometimes. Sometimes it's just like every time I talk to somebody new, I know the first 5 minutes of our conversation is going to be about my beard.
Oh, can I touch your beard?
Yeah. Oh, how long did it take you to grow that? I can't do that. It's crazy. I'm like, that's why I did it.
You're like, I'm over this. I'm done with this conversation.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think it's really awesome that people find some sort of enjoyment in knowing it exists. But you know?
You could just be like me and have no redeeming qualities. Or you could have a nice beard.
Wow. You gave me the most dead look. You're like, no redeeming qualities. I'm useless. All right, so what did you guys predict? Let's get a little bit back to Battlerite before we talk too much about myself. Who do you guys predicting to take this now that you know the matchups? Not particularly what you voted before on the website to get your chests, I understand. But now that you understand the champion picks, what are you guys predicting? What do you got, Joe?
I'm saying functional sociopaths.
Yeah?
I'm saying champion picks have nothing to do with this. I just think they're a significantly better team. Like, we went on this huge rant about how it's a shock about how these guys are here, and I think that way for a reason, because they're all incredibly skilled players, and the problems we've seen coming out of B-Biceps and the boys on Pulse Trunk, it's just that they don't have experience. They look like a much less experienced team for good reason. They've been playing this game for a full year less, or they've been in the competitive scene for a full year less, so it's just much less likely that they're going to take this game, right?
Yeah. Experience hasn't really been as noticeable in Battlerite because for the longest time in the competitive scene, we just pretty much see the same teams over and over and over and over again. Finally, a couple of teams are trying to weasel their way, and they've actually made it up to this top moment, and that's where you're noticing that experience really does, or can play a key. Who's Magic M? Yeah,
I was about to say, Carpet, read out that Rook's name to me. That is Magic M. That is the Rook god of Europe. This dude has, like, he's like a Rook of legend on the European ladder. And seems like he's been picked up by Functional Sociopaths. No longer playing with Xanox, I guess.
Yep.
That's pretty spicy. But yeah, this dude, I have heard so many good things, and maybe he'll make me eat my words that Rook is the best side there in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody that I've heard talk about this guy just endlessly praises him, so we'll see how this goes.
So that might have been some of the complications, trying to figure out what to do with the substitute. We've seen some good stuff out of Paul Strunk here and there, but as you said, it's just not as consistent. And when the pressure is seriously on, sometimes you just kind of watch their plans fall apart.
Look at that, Lucy's hair. It matches the cloud. That's cute.
It is actually pretty cool.
I like cosmetics.
That's why I spend money. A whole lot of it, actually.
Oh,
All right,
they're playing with
Sociopaths.
Nathlin, too, on
Yeah.
Full Strong. He's a really good Shifu main, so both of these teams playing with a mix-up.
Interesting situation they found themselves in for a potential relegation match as well. It looks like the two subs are just in a 1v1. Maybe they made an agreement prior. Let the subs do a 1v1, let the mains. Although it looks heavily in favor right now of the Rook against this Shifu.
Oh, yeah.
He's not having a great time against it. Just going to M2 over the Sheep. Oh, no. Oh, no. The portal's going to save them from that. But Biceps, I got to probably not call him that. Sounds like I'm having a serious problem over here when I say that.
There's no serious in this game, Carpet.
You just never stop, do you?
No, it's endless. Red team, though, they're falling so far behind at this point. Interesting Battlerite selection from Barosk. I'm excited to see it at the end of this round. I think he actually doesn't have any taser rights, Carpet. Oh, that's
maybe he just didn't think that he'd have to deal with it too much. I mean, Shifu's literally just a sneeze away from death right now.
Yeah, he used both of his abilities now, too. He has nowhere to go. Iva going to jump over him, try to flamethrower him. Now the ultimate coming out from Lucy. Shifu dying to that boulder, too. Everything just falling apart here for Polstrunk.
The meat stick and the boulder are what finished him off. Oh, God.
Get him, that Lucy M1.
Not often does that usually the final blow. All right, so that got carried away pretty early on. That trade on the bottom between Shifu and Rook, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it went in favor of Rook, huh? Just a little bit.
Okay, interesting. So Barosk does have one taser Battlerite. It looks like he's running the same Battlerite build as Dizzler. He has that damage on his Rocket. Rocket does so much damage with that Battlerite. It does like 30 damage from a distance. It's pretty good on Iva, character that relies pretty heavily on generally mid to short range engagements, but having that Rocket in your back pocket can be very helpful.
Nice rhyme.
Thank you.
The fact that Rook is so in meta, and this is potentially one of the best Rooks in Europe, could be a tell of this series already. Functional Sociopaths taking the first round. Shifu is going to want to try and stick this backline, but as you said,
nice combo.
With a Clarity Potion and now Barosk turning, there's the Immaterial. EX already out. Got just enough heals. He's going to go find his team. Oh, but lose the orb to a boulder. Nicely timed by Magic M.
Polstrunk doing a pretty good job. Oh, God, up top, Magic M getting a double in cap, and down bottom, Nathlin not trading favorably. The EX space used. Counter not going to get procced, but things are looking so good for Functional Sociopaths still.
Portal comes out, and Shifu having to use it for safety every time, and not the most value they're going to want to see out of that. Red team do secure that orb, though, tie it back up. The in cap just missing on Nathlin. Grand Illusion literally just getting chunked through. Although that Jade ult found a good amount of value. I think 2 or 3 of those made at least the AoE connection.
Ooh,
Double
good sheep. That damage onto Rook is pretty big, too. The sheep into snipe combo is incredibly strong. Definitely something Rook has to be careful about.
Blue team did secure an orb. Magic M's going to get all those greens, nearly negating half of that max health damage that he just saw. Doesn't land that space. He's going to get silenced. Probably wants to get the counter. It's not going to get hit. Although it looks like Nathlin has almost nothing left. That's not going to find a lot of value on that goo either. Oh, Shifu and Magic M. Dangerous position. Another orb for blue team.
Ooh, that Jade ultimate was pretty big. 3 of those hits landing onto Randler, and Magic M, the sheep! He's getting ran at, but the barrier is finally available. The Iva ultimate trying to find some damage in return, but it's not looking like it's going to get enough, Carpet.
Ross getting melted through that Magic M, losing so much. He got rooted, and they knew not to hit that counter. He spaces to find an ally. The barrier's down. Blue team secure an orb. That's huge for them. 4 orbs to 1.
Ooh, that's a big goo right there, forcing Geekanerd to play very defensively. The tractor beam pulling him back in. A cheeky play from Barosk, but the Rook might have committed too hard as he gets pulled into...
Oh, we got the greens and an eat! He stays alive, but not for long! Nathan gets the safety of the portal to bring himself back. Iva goes down. Long and drawn out, but Polstrunk take a round off of Functional Sociopaths.
Yeah, a little bit of an extension there by the Rook. We saw a nice play from Verosk pulling the enemy Jade back into Rambler's goo, but then Magic M maybe got a little bit excited and tried to commit with a charge. Didn't end up working out in his favor as Nathlin took that opportunity to hard commit onto him. And he found the kill, even through those green shards in the eat.
Yeah. All right, 1 round to 1 round. Remember, best of 5, and whoever loses this gets relegated from the Battlerite Pro League.
Yeah, whoever loses gets bopped. You get bopped right out of the league.
They do get the title of being the first team ever relegated from the European Battlerite Pro scene.
Do you want that title?
I mean, a title's a title.
It's true.
They won't actually get the in-game title, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah,
although that'd be pretty great.
Yeah, that would be good. First losers.
Take that bait, baby.
Nathlin just sitting there. Magic M calls his bluff. He's like, you won't do it. You won't counter.
That was actually pretty great.
Yeah, that's smart.
Jade having to space away from that counter. A little bit scared of that Rook.
Whoa, look how fast that Rook was.
Yeah, quick sheep, swift sheep. Ooh, just missing the smack. Nathan's finding himself between a Verosk and a Randler. Not a place I'd ever want to be.
Yeah, Nathlin is just getting ruined by Verosk too. We see a little bit of that skill matchup that I talked about earlier. Verosk just so good. And now the Shifu finally going to go down.
That looked pretty dirty.
Yeah, that was pretty filthy. Oh, nice goo there. He's trying to get to the portal, but he won't even make it. Man, that's rough.
That's a brutal scene. Just like trying to crawl to your portal through this poisonous goo.
Yeah.
Just barely not making it in time.
Crawl through the acid to get to your portal out.
I'd watch that movie. I'd watch the Battlerite, like some real, actually created for a movie Battlerite battles.
Dude, when's the live-action Battlerite movie?
Yep. I know who they're going to cast me as.
Who?
I couldn't think of a funny enough joke quick enough.
Oh, so you lied. You said you knew.
I know. I do know. I just don't know right now.
Oh, okay. I guess that's fair. Man, Magic M, though, he committed pretty hard early on. It worked out in his favor, but I thought it might not, as got punished pretty hard by Biceps and Gigash Nerd. He has to be very careful engaging onto this backline, as Jade Xander's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is. Magic M breaking line of sight from that Jade snipe on the other side of the wall. Oh, keeping him away from that portal.
Yeah, Nathlin, I think he just went right back in with that portal, trying to play aggressively. The counter's now procced. Oh my god, the sheep is immediately burned through.
Magic M, he might lose some health, but he's still got plenty. He's got the barrier. He's going to eat as well to help sustain him just a little bit longer. Randler's got to be careful. He has the goo, though. There's the ultimate. Going to iframe over it. Did he get the stun?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
The stun on the M2 connected to cancel the Jade ultimate, and now Nathlin getting ran at. Oh, he gets knocked into the center by the barrier knockback too. This orb going to be taken by Functional Sociopaths.
Who eats the M2 from Xander with the counter. Rook's actually going to save Randler from some damage as well, and now Shifu's in a bad spot. He keeps playing aggressive with those portals. Getting punished for it. Oh, God. There's the stun, the immaterial to try and get rid of that debuff. Oh my God!
That in-cap was sick. So much damage coming off of it, and now Functional Sociopaths.
That's game. That's game.
They back. Yeah, you have to alt F4 when that happens.
Yep.
We need a rule in the rulebook that says if you get styled on like that, you gotta quit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was a sick in-cap though. He gets another nice one on the Jade. The Grand Illusion gonna be popped from the Xander. He recognizes he needs something insane, but I don't think he's gonna get anything, Carpet.
No. You can times up all you want. Man, what a triple in-cap.
Yeah, that's a big one. I see why people praise this guy. He seems like he might be okay at Rook.
All right, he's all right.
He might be fine. I don't know. Maybe he's okay.
That's 3 rounds to 1 for Functional Sociopaths. Step 1 of, I'd say, probably about 5 or 6 steps to try and end this series. Relatively long, these best of 5s, proving to see which teams are a little more creative or just have a little bit more longevity in their execution. There's a lot of Battlerite to play.
There are a lot of rounds.
I mean, if you go to map 5, you're looking at 2 hours.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday.
2 hours of trying to not mess up.
That's
difficult.
Exhausting, too.
Yeah. Very, very tough for these teams. But the stakes are high. You got to make it competitive. You got to make sure that you prove you're the best.
With $13,000 on the line, you got to make sure it's legit, right?
Nathlin, again, just keeping the portal in. I mean, at that point, stop asking for it. Just stop it. Or tell him not to give it to you, whichever one. I don't know where it comes from, but if he's going to stay in on that, I mean, you're getting an iframe for what? If you're not even dodging anything out of it, it's just wasting one of his abilities.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of disconnect, as Polstrunk haven't played with Nathlin before in a tournament.
Yeah.
So maybe they just want to do different things.
Only one that time, but still got plenty of damage. There's the portal trying to find Nathlin. Counter will get hit. Magic M's got nothing left. No iframe, no counter.
He does get some nice green shards, though. He has the eat available. He finally uses it. Frost coming back to help out his buddy.
He just goes in.
Wow, yeah, he just goes in man mode.
He does not care. Oh, Nathlin might be in a really bad spot. There's no portal for him. There's the immaterial. Oh, whoop.
That barrier being used. And Shifu dying down bottom to the flamethrower. The Jade ultimate coming out. They need something. They're not getting anything, Carpet. He wants the Magic M kill, but Functional Sociopaths are not going to give him that dopamine. He's going to get no dopamine from this
He's not
kill.
going to get it. Nope, nope. Oh, never mind. You are not picking that up. Functional Sociopaths, 4 rounds to 1. Poised and ready to take the first map.
Yeah, this Rook player is very good. Magic M is creating such a problem for not only Nathlin, but Geekish Nerd on the Jade as well. It's funny because generally you think of Jade as a character that hard counters Rook, but he's just getting back there, and Magic M is being so disruptive all over the map. It's very reminiscent of watching Sremia play earlier.
So it looks like I've been informed by Magic Man. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Nathlin, I think, is Sephiroth.
Nathlin is Sephiroth?
I think so. That's what I was just told.
Huh.
Which means, Nathlin, don't do this to us. We have one job, and it's to call out your name that's above your head.
Weird. I never knew that. Well, now you know, right?
Yep. Magic M just eating up every ability, getting the in-cap on a Jade, slowing her down. Trying to get the snipes off. She almost was able to find Randler. Again, we haven't even talked about Randler this whole time. You know what that means?
Yeah, it means he's doing his job well, and Shifu on the backline trying to get some damage into him, but not being so successful. And the other healer, the Xander of Red, down to 56 HP already, and he's being hard committed on now by Varask, looking like he's going to likely go down here. Oh, the rabbit form getting him away, but at this point, he's just so far back, so far out of position. This does not look good for Pulse Drunk. Oh, the spin from the Shifu, trying to find something on Varask, but getting almost nothing. And that seems to be the story of this round. Nothing working out for Pulse Drunk here as they lose another orb, falling so far behind at this point. Xander finally going to go down. He got no portal available. Functional Sociopaths, they going to win this one.
So now I can't tell who's lying to me or not. Chat seemed to think that I'm being lied to.
I think you are.
You think so?
I just wasn't going to question it. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're casting a dude. I'm going to keep calling him Nathlin.
Yeah, I'm going to call him by the name above his head. That's all they are to me anyways, right?
I also thought that maybe since, you know, Pulse Drunk lost all of their matches in the group stage, they picked up another melee player. You know, that seems like something people do sometimes.
Yeah.
If you lose, you switch something up.
That's
So,
usually what you do.
Makes sense that it's someone different.
And they just lost again. Functional Sociopaths, so taking that one. Another gentleman sweep we see. Taking the first map of potentially 5. They need 3, so they're one out of potentially 3 to take this victory.
Yeah, and I think this is a game where we're likely to see not very many comp changes, at least on the side of the melees. I know Magic M is he's a Rook player through and through. He likes to play that character quite a lot, and
Yeah.
Rook is so good in this meta, there's no reason to switch off of him. And Nathlin is a player that I've only heard of playing Shifu. Not sure if he has any other characters in his back pocket. So I think the melee picks will probably be the same here. We'll see if the range picks can adapt on the side of Pulse Drunk to maybe handle the Rook better.
I mean, you said it. Having a Rook main, a guy that is touted to be one of the best in your region, while Rook is so heavy in meta, you can't get better than that, right? I mean, what a good person to have to help you out trying to take these wins, especially in such an important match. Remember, whoever loses this is out of the Battlerite Pro League and gets relegated. Yeah. The winner's still not out, though. They still have to win another match. It will be against a Rising Star team, so there probably will be a slightly significant gap depending on who's trying to come in. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have been playing this game for a while. You see a couple of teams make their way into that kind of top region of the top 8, top 10 teams. But it is very difficult, as you mentioned right now. Experience is playing a pretty big key. Yeah,
and experience is just so important. Working with a team is so hard, and it's something you can only really learn by doing it. So the fact that the more experienced team here is coming out on top is not too surprising to me, honestly.
What I think is very interesting about the Battlerite competitive scene and just seeing any other competitive gaming is that these players don't just like break up and ditch each other. I mean, you see usually duos will stick together for a very, very long time, and maybe their third will swap out. But generally, the two will always be there. You're looking at Randler Xanox, right? I mean, you were looking at Teldo Varask for the longest time. I can't think of any.
What about In the Flesh Vorim?
In the Flesh Vorim, right? They literally never stopped playing until they both quit.
Yeah.
That was it. But, I mean, I think because having synergy and actually just understanding the thought process of your teammates plays such a big role. And as we talked about, the comboing is more important than just raw skill. That's where you get those combos, is when you synergize with your teammate because you've been playing for so long. So that is our pro tip for the day, is to pick a teammate and stick with them.
Make a friend.
Make a friend and a best one, because you're going to have to play a lot with them if you want to try and weasel your way into the competitive scene of Battlerite.
Yeah, I got so lucky when I met my first teammate. Vorium was like literally the coolest dude.
Yeah.
Shout outs to that guy if he's watching.
Shout outs to your ex-teammate.
Yeah. Shout outs to Vorium. But yeah, it's kind of tragic. That's one of the tragic things about Functional Sociopaths kicking out Xanox for Magic M. That is the breaking up of a couple.
Do we know that's a kickoff?
That is what I believe is true.
That's pretty nuts.
I believe that is Magic M filling in on Functional Sociopaths permanently. So
wow.
That's a marriage ending.
That is
Xanox and Randler.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe there was a falling out. Maybe somebody picked the wrong map and they got really mad at each other.
I mean, it's kind of rough to say, but Xanox was looking kind of sketchy in their last couple of weeks. He had a really rough time, so maybe they just felt like a change was necessary.
Well, we're going to see the Rook. No surprise there. And I think that's going to be something they're going to have to be very careful of, because I know Rook's in meta, but if Magic M is a Rook specialist and struggles with other melee, they will find trouble in the future.
And that's what I was thinking exactly, yeah. It's like, I wonder what else he's going to play after Rook has changed. I'm sure he's capable if he's this good at Rook. Like, you can learn other things, right? Yeah. But it could be kind of sketchy.
Yeah, and it definitely, I mean, melee, luckily the mindset can kind of bleed from champion to champion, but your reaction times, and you just have to know interactions so well in this game, which is why you see specialists, because these people putting over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 games into one champion, and they master that champion. Yeah. Because the game for a long time was that. Master somebody so you know all the interactions and you'll beat out the 1v1s. Looking at the team comps, I didn't speak about them because nothing changed. Yeah. Same thing, both sides. Pulse Trunk, same comp. Sociopath, same comp.
It's like
we're looking at another gentleman sweep.
Yeah, like we were alluding to, both of these teams playing with kind of new players on their team. So you're going to pick one comp and you're going to stick to it, especially when each of those players play like one melee in particular. Yeah. So it makes sense that we see the same thing here. I think it's very likely we see the same result. I think Functional Sociopaths just a step ahead.
Unaware of who the Shifu player truly is, at this point doesn't really matter. He's got a name above his head, and that's what he is for this match.
He's Nathlin.
He's Nathlin. I like the name Nathlin because Nathan's a name. Yeah. Had an L in there, and it sounds way weirder.
I always used to think it was Nathian.
Nathian.
And then I realized that's not a capital I. That's just an L.
Nathlin.
It feels weird to say Nathlin.
Nathlin. My mind is on Functional Sociopaths. I think they had a really good time. I like Magic M's Rook play. I'm excited to see him on other champions, but I mean, right now we're probably not going to see him off Rook for a while.
If you can play Rook, don't not play Rook. Yeah. Just play Rook right now.
Rook's very good.
He good.
He very good. So we're going to be getting into the next match. Remember, one map right now in favor of Functional Sociopaths in this best of 5. Whoever wins this will move on. Whoever does not is done in their run for the Battlerite Pro League.
Done in their run. We're on Blackstone, or not Blackstone, but rather Skyring Night 2. Pretty open map. Might find the Rook having a little bit more trouble fighting in-caps here, but I think in general, Rook's still so strong right now that the in-caps aren't really the make-or-break ability for him.
I mean, talk about essentially his big change that we saw in this last patch. You know, obviously there's been a lot of controversy around whether they think Rook's getting stronger or weaker, as far as like what the players think.
Right.
But what the patch did do, at least, was really help in just those one-on-one situations with Rook. You won't just feel like, well, nothing I can do. I just took 80 damage for no reason.
Yeah, you don't just get comboed anymore, but he does have his charge. Pretty much Battlerite's always being taken that reduces the cooldown of the charge if you land it. So it means he has more charges, and the big one is his stun was moved from his Battlerite onto his base kit. So he now has a base kit stun, which is pretty insane on that M2.
Yeah. Very, very strong. The length got reduced, as in the Flush was saying, so now he can't get a free end cap off of it. There is time for you to escape or cast something in between those two. So again, in the 1v1, while he's still very good, you won't feel nearly as suffocated. But clearly we see him picked a lot, so he's still very good in the 3s meta. Functional Sociopaths trying to look to end this early. Dominating last round. Or last map, I should say. Trying to bait him out as much as possible. Seeing if he can get a counter out of Shifu. He does, and he hits it. Magic M having no trouble with his backline. Blue team will secure an orb. Nice double in cap from Nathlin.
Yeah, the orb does still go to Functional Sociopaths, though, which is very good for Magic M, as he actually lost his trade a little bit there on his initiation. The Sheep now coming out to punish the Tractor Beam. Red Team doing a much better job with their abilities this game.
Connor won't get hit for Rook. He's going to flick over and actually find the Invis Jade, which is super cool. There's going to be the goo, and at the very least, it at least forced some mobility. Shifu's going to secure this orb for them. That's going to be massive. That double in cap really gave him the space.
Another Sheep onto that Rook that broke his counter, and my God, he got ruined.
That was sick. That was such a great combo. He tried to M2 at least over one of the Jade ultimates, but then he found himself a nice M2 fat catalyst from the biceps.
Yeah, that Arcane Catalyst was absolutely massive when we saw one of your favorite abilities. Nathlin actually using his EX Spear.
The Harpoon, baby.
The Harpoon to pull the Rook into the Jade Snipe. Really cute play.
I'm such a fan of any kind of utility that involves movement of your opponents. That is, if you haven't noticed, my favorite thing to do.
Just pull them around,
any
drag
kind of
places.
movement utility. I have such a fun time just messing with the battlefield, making people move, whether it be my opponents or my allies.
Yeah, maybe this map is going to be more problematic for Magic M than I initially expected. His score kind of reflecting how hard of a round he had.
Yeah.
Interesting seeing his Battlerite build. He takes a much less armor break heavy build than a lot of North American rooks. Doesn't even opt for the armor break the armor break on the boulder toss.
I do think he got a little bit confident last time. Popping his counter, maybe not when he knew that he would get popped, but hoping to bait something out. Oh, there it is, baiting out the counter from Nathlin, and the pull-in, and the stun. He's in a really dangerous spot. The panic counter break, the in-cap. What just happened to poor Shifu?
That CC chain was unreal from Functional Sociopaths. The panic being thrown in there from Wrangler to secure the in-cap, and now it's looking like the red team is going to fall so far behind here. Playing aggressively is Vrask on the eye, but he even gets the taser stun and the flamethrower. Geekish Nerd is just getting burned to pieces, and Nathlin's doing no better.
Vrask does not care right now. He is playing so aggressive with this Iva pick. You're going to turn and secure orb. That's 2 orbs for them. Rook will gladly eat an M2 from Xander for that orb. Oh, they're actually going to find the Invis Jade. It's actually potentially going to help Rook locate her. He's going to get the in-cap and turn his attention to Xander. Biceps has no help. He uses Portal for himself and goes right in front of Wrangler. The support on support over there. Nathlin might just go, oh, baited out. That's going to be it for Shifu.
Yeah, hit that taser too to secure the stun, made it so Nathlin couldn't get his counter out, and then Magic M came in for the kill. Really nicely played.
Space, Portal grabs the greens, but Biceps now all alone back there. Deadly Inject, Flamethrower. The ult from Geekish Nerds will take some off of Rook, but not enough to really do a dent. And this is what we expected out of the first round. Functional Sociopaths. 71% health pool by the end of that.
Yeah, they're not getting styled on that round as Magic M plays absolutely perfectly. That CC chain up top on Nathlin. Everybody contributing. Got the taser into the panic, into the in-cap, and from that point on, Functional Sociopaths just pulled so far ahead as Nathlin couldn't safely engage.
Yeah.
And Functional Sociopaths getting the next 2 orbs made it so hard for the red team to get in there.
3, 2, 1.
Tied up, but for how much longer? That CC combo from Functional Sociopaths, mirroring the same combo we saw from Pulse Strength to get the kill on a Magic M.
Oh man, Magic M avoiding that sheep, doing a really nice job, not using the counter.
Oh my.
The counter just now broken. That's not good for him though. Down bottom, the Rook gonna start to get manhandled a little bit.
He's gonna eat, is it? I don't know, he's getting the good trade. He gets the in-cap on 1. It's not amazing for him, but he was able to do just as much to their support, and Nathlin lost everything against Vrask and Wrangler. Everything, he lost his savings, he was trying to get a new boat. He lost his house, the dog.
His kids, everything gone. It's like a country song.
Getting the ultimate off, but stopping that after 2 of them.
Oh, that's a big goo from Wrangler. Dropping that goo all over Geekish Nerd. The space, the illusion trying to heal him up a little bit, but Xander's still going to go down.
This time it's all Vrask's game. Magic M might not find as much value here because this map isn't going to be as easy for him to just kind of run around and smack. Oh, man. Baiting a counter out of somebody like that is probably one of the best feelings in the game.
Yep, and it looks really stylish to just finish him off with that M2 as well.
Yep.
Vrask playing very well against Geekish Nerd and co. Just Functional Sociopaths in general look like they're kind of hitting their stride, and this Rook pick really doing well for them.
You know, I've realized why especially as a Bako main, I get so mad that Rook gets to he gets to cancel his space bar and feign that.
Yeah.
What a great thing to feign.
3,
It's pretty good.
Like if I could feign my space bar as Bako, holy crap.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
I'd be so happy. I'd be such a happy boy. Such a strong use of the mind games. Magic M, though, not finding a lot right now. He's going to get his counter hit. He has to dodge one.
Ooh.
He nearly gets sniped. Nathan again losing this trade with Faraz. They're trying to put pressure on the Randler, but he survives for so long. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Xander down bottom just gets manhandled, Carpet. That's not great.
Nathan's just going to go down here. He's going to get the ult. Will he take
Okay.
Randler out?
Okay.
He does. Deadly Inject comes out. He incaps to get rid of the flamethrower. He has to use his immaterial. Oh, what timing he has on that immaterial.
Yeah, that is the sign of a player that has played a lot of Battlerite. If you can, oh, nice CC chain up here too, getting a bunch of damage on Gigash Nerd, who recognizes it's over. Functional Sociopaths quickly pulling ahead.
blue team wins
The gentleman's sweep, as you called it, looking like it might be our future.
They did get the kill. That ult from Nathan was very good once he realized Lucy was pinned in the corner. But you mentioned this. We always talk about Lucy, how she can have troubles against some team comps, or just troubles in general because she has such little mobility.
Yes.
And we haven't even talked about it. That was the first time we even saw him close to dying. Aside from the round they lost, obviously.
Yeah.
1.
But Randler is not their weak point, and that just goes to show how good he is on this champion.
Yeah, Rambler is pretty good at battle rates. Nathlin not having nearly as successful as an opener this round. Both barriers, though, for Functional Sociopaths being used on Varask could be a bit of an opening for him.
Uh-oh. Rook WASDing out of that with not getting his counter hit. He has the Arcane Catalyst. He goes in just as it wears off. He's going to have to eat soon there. He does with the barrier on him. Dodges all of the hard CC. Misses the stun. Misses the sheep. The ultimate from Geekish Nerd. It will be coming out shortly. He's waiting for this counter to get wasted. Rabbit form to try and get out of there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counter's going to hit Shifu. The other way around. Shifu's counter's going to get hit. From Yoda speak.
Geekish Nerd is having such a hard time finding damage from these snipes, and Rambler's getting so much value out of his energy usage. That first ultimate was game-changing. The snipe once again missing. Now,
I think Biceps is just going to die here.
Yeah. Looks like you're right.
Looks like I'm right. What a call.
Blue team has taken
The orb control as well. Magic M timing his boulder as well. There was actually a really nice thing I saw Faraz do. He was right next to Orb with a Jade next to him. And he thought about throwing a rocket at it, but then realizing that James' M1 volleys would probably beat him out on the damage. He cancels the rocket and goes to M1 it, which I thought was really cool, because it gave him a lot more control over when he was going to deal the damage.
Yeah, very smart.
So the orb control right now from Functional Sociopaths is way over Pulse Trunk's head right now. 4 rounds to 1, getting almost another gentleman's sweep in map number 2.
Pulse Trunk definitely in over their heads in this matchup. Functional Sociopaths just strictly looking like the better team. And, you know, Pulse Trunk, they have a long road ahead of them if they want back into this, and I'm not sure they have it in them.
Yeah, this right now just isn't really panning out too well for them. I don't know how I feel about this team comp either.
I think the Jade Xander is very good, but the Shifu playing so split, they honestly, it looks kind of like a solo queue game. Having a hard time grouping together and having these team combos. You know, that's the inexperience we talk about so often.
I mean, even just comboing 2 or 3 abilities can be a game changer. You don't have to do anything too insane, but you're even struggling with that, as you said. Gigashner not able to land any snipes. An in-cap snipe would do wonders, but it's really hard for Nathlin to get in there because look what he's up against. He's up against a Randler and a Varask. Getting all the greens, getting the orb. Functional Sociopath to take a lead, and then they just kind of beat it to the ground. Rabbit form, getting clarity, but Randler's in a really bad spot right now.
Yeah, he finally gets energy for roll from those oranges, and he's going to use it. And on the other side of the fight, the Xander does go down. Not looking like they're going to be able to kill Randler either as Functional Sociopaths get the orb.
That's all they wanted to do. Oh, found the Infizz Jade with the deadly inject. Functional Sociopaths, another gentleman's sweep. It's going to be 2 maps to none in this best of 5.
Nathlin wants that Lucy so bad. I don't think he's getting her though. Nope. 5-2 or 5-1. Is this? Are we going to see a repeat of earlier on when we had Impact go 15-2 in round score?
Potentially.
Functional Sociopaths going to go 15-2.
As long as they don't try and BM. That's my only request. Don't give us this weird triple ranged comp. Unless you can win with it.
Unless he
In which
can
case,
win.
go for it.
Yeah. Then show it.
That's my rule. I am all for the BM, and obviously in sport, a sportsman BM. That kind of let's have some fun.
Right.
I don't know if there's ever such thing as a sportsman BM, but you get my point.
Yes.
If you,
Understood.
if you can win with it, if you can make a statement with it, but you don't do it if you lose.
Yeah. I think, like we're talking about comp changes, I don't think we're going to see any.
No, probably not. I don't. I think at this point, everyone kind of knows how the result's going to be, even people that are playing. It's just, you see the one round come out generally on a big mistake, or on generally, I think it's when I saw Magic M just like not really care about his cooldowns. He just kind of threw out his counter, threw out his space, his M2.
Right.
And he's like, I probably should have paid attention a little bit more. Then it gets melted because you do have that Arcane Catalyst. You do have the debuff mixed with a Jade. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
But then he never let it happen again.
Yeah. After that, he was like, okay, I understand what I can't do. And then he just avoided making those mistakes. And, of course, it did come off the back of a really nice play from Natlin, too, with that Harpoon pulling into a Jade Snipe. So it was a nice play out of post-trunk, but they can only get so many of those against a team like Functional Sociopaths.
Yeah, and there's even a couple of times, and you talk about how it feels sometimes a little bit like a solo queue, not really working together to get the synergy. You'd see, the sheep cast underneath a Rook who's going to M2 it, but then the Snipe comes in at the same time and he dodges them both.
Right.
Or the counter gets hit so that he gets a speed buff and he's going to be able to dodge that Snipe. I mean, all those things, being a little bit more patient and having a little bit more reasoning behind why you're casting things outside of just, I want to deal damage. Suppose, like, I want to force these cooldowns out. Generally, your first goal should be, how do I give them less tools in their kit? Your next goal is to, how can I kill them now?
Right.
But when your first goal is, how do I deal as much damage as possible, you're going to run into situations like this, where too many cooldowns get dumped into a champion that has an answer.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what we saw in post-trunk. It's going to be really tough for him moving into this next game. And, it's kind of feeling bad to say it, but I'm thinking they might get relegated.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
I mean, it's really hard not to. We just saw two very, very dominating matches, and I'm assuming they're going to get this next draft underway very, very shortly. Remember, it is a best of 3 in maps, so if we see one more win go in favor of
Functional Sociopaths.
Wow, I'm bad with the team names this week.
Yeah.
I'm real bad with them.
Life's hard.
I just squint at you, and then you tell me the answer. Maybe I should just, if this team wins, I'll just make it real obvious.
I'll just stop saying anything.
And then it's no longer my fault. Well, we have a little bit of time. Anything we want to talk about?
How are you doing, Carpet?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Kind of tired, but
Great conversation.
Good. Yeah. Good talk. Good talk.
We had a little conversation about Thorn, and I don't know if it's worth talking about. Maybe we just want to get anyone's opinions. Maybe just get some conversation started about Thorn. I personally think that he could be played much more effectively. We see him get picked sometimes. Generally, when people feel kind of like, we got to go with a safer pick that we think is going to have a better chance of winning, they'll go to the Thorn pick. Lasts a little bit longer. He's got great sustain. He's got the bar press to help support his team. Never mind drafts coming. Screw the conversation. We'll talk
For another time.
For another time. There's going to be Shifu and Rook. I wonder what's going to come up next. You think we can guess it?
I'll
give you a bottle of water if you can get all of them.
All right, we're going to see Ivo, Lucy, and we're going to see Jade Xander.
All right. I hope Paul's trying to pick something.
I know. I hope I'm wrong.
So you go thirsty the rest of the day.
Oh.
Get dehydrated, yo.
What did I do to deserve this? Okay, no water. I'm dead.
Now you have to go the rest of the broadcast.
Please, I'm thirsty.
So they're going to change up a little bit. Maybe they're just going to go with something real saucy. Give me a serious for your support. I want to see it. Give me a serious. Make Lucy pay. Although maybe he might not pick Lucy after seeing this.
Yeah, maybe. I don't like playing Lucy into Rook, but maybe he feels good enough. Who knows?
Rook and Shifu.
Yeah, this is... Oh, actually, yeah. That didn't quite click in my head, but that's pretty gross.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to pick Lucy.
Yikes.
It's probably where the slowdown is coming.
I wouldn't want to play Lucy.
What do you think we'll see out of it?
Pestilus.
Pestilus? I think Pestilus would have a decent time.
I like Pestilus plus Armor Break, too. That's a big burst of damage right there.
Full strength, so they're going to go Xander for the portal to help both those jump around more. I want to see serious. Ulrich would have a lot of fun in this.
Ulrich.
He'd have a fine time. A fine time indeed.
Who says that?
No one.
I thought that was a line in the game.
It could be. It's close. It's close to kind of like Ulrich, I guess.
Something.
I don't know.
Tell us, teams. This suspense is killing me. I want to know if I'm right. I need to know that I'm wrong so I can
We're
stop
just making an
feeling good.
awkward moment of silence for Jao. We just stare at the camera. There it is. It's Jamila. All right.
What is this comp?
I'm pretty sure Pulse Trunk has accepted their fate.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna relax for this one. I'm just gonna hang out.
Let's lean back.
Let's just chill, because I don't think this is gonna go very long.
Yeah, Blossom picked. Okay.
I think Blossom would be good. I mean, putting the tree down to stop the rushes.
I wanted Pestilus, dude. Randler, why can't you make me look smart, Randler? I know you're good at that character.
Yeah.
I need you to help me.
Hey, with the new patch, I think Jamila is gonna find a spot in this meta soon.
Oh yeah. I think the main reason we aren't seeing Jamila played is simply because teams are not used to playing her because she has been unviable since release. But after this last patch, I think Jamila is actually pretty good. She got a lot of buffs. She has a lot more sustained damage coming out of her space recast. Just does so much over time.
Just to let you guys know, so she used to have a roundhouse kick, which is she can kind of dash forward and do some damage and kick you back, mostly is what it was. They've removed that Battlerite altogether and given you quick strike, which essentially you can recast after your space to perform a short dash that deals 10 damage and gives you the lesser Phantom debuff, which deals 16 damage after 2 seconds. So potential 26 damage after your space. You can follow it up with an R, which does another, 22 for the R with a 22 heal. I mean, now she has massive amounts of potential burst damage.
Yeah, that character hurts a lot now. Can't really have her sticking on you, and it's really a good thing Randler didn't pick Lucy, right?
Yeah.
This would be like the least fun Lucy game in existence. It's kind of scary though. You know, Pulse Trunk, they're going all out for this last game. Like we said yesterday, we saw the pound of cheddar. This is like 3 pounds.
This is like just 3 pounds of beef. This is all
beef.
Meat right here. There is no cheese in here. This is all meat, no support, all self-sustained. This is the protein team right here.
I mean, I guess all of these all of these characters have a lot of self-sustain. We'll see if it works out here. It's actually going to be fun to watch, I think.
Let's hope so, at least.
Well, things not starting out so well for the Rook, as he seems to have been unable to farm any bars of energy. But Bicep's going to go down. The counter's not procced either. All right, Carpet. They are all dead. And he counters after showing he's going to give up. What a troll.
All right, everybody. Well, what are we talking about during this game?
Welcome to the rodeo.
There's not a lot to talk about this round, so let's just chat about anything else. How's your day?
Dude, I'm having a pretty good day. I'm having a better day now. Shoutouts to Pulse Trunk.
Yep. Yep.
This is like the equivalent of being a Lucy and rolling out into fog after your last teammate dies. This is Pulse Trunk going out on their own terms. I respect this.
3,
Yep.
2,
And again, I talk about this. I've mentioned it before. Pulse Trunk right now losing to Functional Sociopaths, a team we were very surprised to see down here in a potential relegation round. These guys are still great. You stat by their titles. They're still top of the leaderboards every season.
Yeah, these guys are no joke. We're not meaning to disrespect them in any way. They're all incredible players. The fact that they're even in the BPL, pretty insane.
Biceps is goner.
Yeah,
Biceps is done.
that dude's dead. If Varas can hit an M1, maybe. If Varas can hit an M1, there we go. He did it.
Now we're BM and Varas. Uh-oh, missed the in-cap. He's going to go find a tree. He wants to get healed. There's the Phantom cut. Look at the damage. Look at the damage on that thing. It's insane.
Ouch.
Oh, smacking on the counter with that space. Wonder how often Geekish Nerd plays Jamila.
You know, probably not as much as Magic M plays Rook. That's my
That's a
guess.
fair bet.
Yeah,
You're just going for the wins there, aren't you? In the flesh.
I am always going for the wins. I want that steamed bun. That looks really good.
Right?
I'm hungry.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, Jamila, Shifu, Rook having a pretty rough one here. Didn't manage to get a Norb. Biceps kind of went down kind of early. It's a rough one, Carpet.
We could talk a little about just Jamila in general.
3,
I actually, so I like
fight.
her, just the way that her champion kind of runs around. She's like a Croak that does a bunch of damage. Not that Croak doesn't, but it's like kind of the inverse of Croak.
Okay.
They're both pretty sneaky. They can get the in-cap for setup.
Oh, wow.
But then Jamila just falls up with a lot of damage. That was super cool.
Yeah, they just destroyed Biceps. Such
Yeah.
good team coordination. That was absolutely disgusting.
Nathan did something kind of cool against the Gust, though. He went to go Javelin into the Gust, and then when it came back at him, he smacked his own counter with it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's pretty cool.
Way to get in on the Blossom. He's trying to find damage here. That EX tree, though, negating a lot of the damage Randler would have otherwise taken. Having such a hard time getting in on these triple melees. I wish this were on, like, Ormond Temple Day. If this were on, like, Ormond Temple Day, this would be such a disgusting match.
Yeah, it really would.
A feast awaits, Carpet.
It does. It awaits Rook in the victory of this. 2 maps up. One more map, which we're pretty much seeing right now. Functional Sociopaths will save themselves from relegation, and Pulse Drunk will have to try and earn their spot again going through the Rising Star Tournament. The parallel daughter tournament to the Battlerite Pro League.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Oh, get that counter bait. That Rook cancel on that charge like he talked about. It's
There's
pretty
the
good.
in cap. Oh, but then they broke it. There's the tree to help out. I would love to see them just erase somebody.
Yeah, just bop somebody real quick. Get on that Iva. Get her, get her, get her.
Red team has taken
Ooh, we got it with the space.
Well, there's some of that
here
damage
we
you
go,
wanted
here we
to
go.
see. Yeah, Blossom getting pretty low here.
That would be a chance for them to go into Blossom. They didn't hit Geekish Nerd's counter. They just can't find value. Randler might get eaten alive. There's the in cap. Oh,
They got her!
They got her!
Blossom down.
They're actually going to get around.
Maybe? Let's not count their chickens before they hatch.
They're going to get around.
Oh, Verosk? I hope he lives. Oh.
Oh, if Magic M can do this. Oh, if Magic M can do this.
Magic M wins these. Okay, okay.
Oh,
Oh.
nice in cap.
Eat. Get that orb.
red team
Oh.
claimed the orb.
Oh, he's going to have to deal with a Shifu ult very soon.
Yeah, I don't know if he does this anymore. Oh, no,
Oh,
he definitely doesn't.
not now.
Nope, he did. Well, they did it. They tunneled the Bambi. They hunted the deer. They put her down.
Team wins
That was good. That's what I want to see out of this. I mean, that's how this comp works, right?
They stuffed the Blossom's head and mounted it on their mantle.
I mean, they're getting real detailed, gruesome here.
We hunters here.
I guess this is a game about, you know, last one to not die.
Yeah, it's literally a game about death, Carpet.
Just like real life.
Yeah. It's unavoidable in Battlerite as in real life.
1, fight.
Functional Sociopaths, though. They still need 2 more rounds to take this.
Yeah. You know, it's not dead. Their tournament life. They're still looking pretty good in terms
Yeah.
of the BPL.
They are. Magic M and Biceps really just trying to bait out that first M2 in the counter. Oh, he got a hit. Just walking in front of Geekish Nerd's recast on the space. What on earth happened to Shifu?
Red team
They say to this day he's still trying to survive.
Out in the forest, there's a Shifu trying to not die to an Iva somewhere. Oh,
Good old Granny Smith.
Granny Smith.
I don't know if Geekish Nerd plays Jamila a lot. He's been having a lot of naked spaces as opposed to using the EX space. Hey, look at the ult go.
He swapped to it. He did the thing.
He did the thing. That's also new, guys. That's
Yeah.
built in. Uh-oh.
He did, Carpet.
Death vortex incoming.
Again, I've seen better situations.
Blue team wins
93%
the round.
health pool by the end of that. You know, I'd call that a dominating victory.
Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Just a little bit.
All right.
No, but for real, people talking about Jamila. I think Jamila can honestly find a good place in this meta.
Yeah, I think so, too.
She's great at setups. She can do a lot of damage now. Almost with every ability.
Yeah, she just hurts.
Yeah, she
Like,
hurts a lot.
And she's pretty sticky now. She has a lot more mobility with her space recast.
Yeah.
I think in the right comp, she's going to be very good. I think we'll have to wait until setup comps return, though.
Yep.
She seems like she'll be very good in combo comps, similar to Crow.
Oh, there goes Randler.
Well.
There it is. We found it.
Well,
Boom, baby. In the meantime, though, Rook died. Almost. Oh, he's not dead.
get him, get him.
They
There's
need
no
it.
flamethrower.
They need it. They need it.
They're not going to.
Oh, the spell block was great. He couldn't do anything. All right. All right, the health pools are pretty massive right now. They need this orb.
Blue team
They got it.
taken the orb.
Oh, this CC chain is nasty. They're so good. You see
Oh
Functional
my
Sociopaths?
God!
They're
Oh
so
my
good!
God!
My God, dude. That combo was nasty.
They just ignored Nathan. He even ulted, and they're like, Psh, get out of here, kid.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. Leave us alone.
He's got a lot of orbs to pick up.
He does. He has another potential ultimate down bottom. If he can get to it, Verosk now sitting on a flamethrower. He gonna use it.
Red team
Oh, Nathan gets the orb. He's now getting the energy. He has that ulti Carpet. The counter's proc Carpet. This is doable.
This is very doable.
This is doable.
Get him with a harpoon! Oh, he didn't have the energy. Get him with a javelin!
Get him. Just get him.
Oh, you got cannonballed to death. Functional Sociopaths in a 3-0 sweep, gentleman sweep within every single map.
Yeah.
They
Hey.
will take this victory, and Pulse Drunk will be relegated out of the Battlerite Pro League.
Shout outs to Pulse Drunk. Just based off the way they played that last round, that last game, I want to have a beer with these guys. These guys seems like they're probably fun-loving dudes, just here to
Yep.
have a good time. The fact that they were in the BPL is very cool for them. They qualified. They're one of the top 8 teams in Europe this season, which is definitely something you can't just look over. Very impressive and a respectable feat by every measure.
Yeah.
So huge props to these guys for even being here, but unfortunately, they won't be joining us for Season 2.
But experience is huge, and I hope
Yeah.
they come out of here knowing that they've learned a whole lot, and this is just the first step for them. They have a lot to learn. Everyone has plenty to learn.